Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the secrets hidden in plain sight within corporate filings. And today we are diving into a report from Chicago Atlantic BDC Incorporated to see what they've been up to in the third quarter. Get ready because we're about to unveil some key financial insights and what they truly mean for the company. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and come join our Discord server linked in the description below where we break down these reports even further. So what we have here is a current report, essentially a snapshot of recent important events for Chicago Atlantic BDC Incorporated. Think of it as a company's way of quickly sharing significant news with the public and investors. These reports come out when something big happens that could affect the company's value or its business. Let's talk about what Chicago Atlantic BDC Incorporated is trading on the stock market. They have their common stock, which is basically like owning small pieces of the company. This stock is traded on the NASDAQ stock market, LLC, under the ticker symbol LEAN. This tells us where you'd go to buy or sell shares of the company and what symbol to look for. Knowing this helps us understand how investors are valuing the company on a day-to-day basis. Now, here's an interesting point. Chicago Atlantic BDC Incorporated is identifying itself as an emerging growth company. This means they are a relatively new player in the public market and get to follow slightly simpler rules for reporting financial information compared to older, more established companies. It is like having a bit of a head start with fewer paperwork hurdles. Although they have chosen not to use an extended transition period for new accounting standards, which shows they want to keep up with the latest financial reporting practices. The main event in this report boils down to their recent financial performance. On the 13th of November 2025, the company released their earnings for the third quarter, ending the 30th of September 2025. This is where we really get to see how the business has been doing financially. This report tells us that a press release was issued along with this filing containing the details of their financial results. This press release, which is attached as an exhibit, contains the nitty-gritty details of their financial condition and how they performed. For companies like Chicago Atlantic BDC Incorporated, which focuses on business development, these quarterly results are crucial indicators of their health and future prospects. Seeing how they performed in the latest quarter gives us a glimpse into their current operational success. Beyond just the numbers, there is also a disclosure about Regulation FD, which stands for Fair Disclosure. Essentially, this rule ensures that all investors, big and small, get the same important company information at the same time. This part of the filing mentions that they also disseminated an earnings presentation. This presentation is what they likely use for their conference call to walk investors through their financial results. So not only did they release the raw numbers, but they also provided a more visual and explanatory package to help everyone understand what those numbers mean. This earnings presentation is key because it often highlights the most important takeaways management wants investors to focus on. It is usually a summary of their quarterly performance, often with charts and graphs that make the financial story easier to digest. It is like the Cliff's Notes version of their financial results, designed to give a clear picture of their progress. So, what does all this tell us about Chicago Atlantic BDC Incorporated? Based on this report, the company has put out its third quarter financial results and an accompanying presentation. This usually signals that they want to communicate their performance and possibly their outlook to the market. For investors, this is the time to really scrutinize those numbers. We need to look at how their revenue has changed, their expenses, and ultimately their profit or loss. Now let's put on our investor hats and look at this through a Warren Buffett lens. When looking at a business development company or BDC, we want to see consistent returns and smart investing. Are they growing their assets under management? Are their investments performing well? A key figure we would look for in the earnings presentation, though not directly detailed here, would be their net investment income per S-share. This tells us if they are generating enough cash from their investments to cover their expenses, and then another vital metric is the net asset value per S-share, often referred to as NAV. This represents the actual book value of the company's assets minus its liabilities. If the stock price is trading significantly above its NAV, that could suggest it is overvalued, and if it is trading below, it might be a good buying opportunity. Without the actual financial tables from the press release or presentation, it is hard to give specific numbers, but if the company reported a substantial increase in net investment income and a growing NAV, that would be a strong positive sign. Conversely, a decline in these metrics, especially if coupled with rising expenses or a decrease in the value of their investment portfolio, would be a red flag. We also want to understand the quality of their loan book. Are they making loans to stable, growing businesses, or are they taking on excessive risk? Diversification of their portfolio is another important factor. Are they relying too heavily on one sector or a few large clients? A well-diversified BDC is generally a safer bet. The fact that they are an emerging growth company is not necessarily a negative, but it does mean they are still establishing their track record. We would want to see a pattern of responsible financial management and growth over several quarters before making any long-term investment decisions. The release of an earnings presentation alongside the financial results is a good sign that they are transparent and want to clearly communicate their performance. This is crucial for building investor confidence. In conclusion, Chicago Atlantic BDC Incorporated has shared its latest financial update. While the specifics are in the attached exhibits, the report indicates the company is actively communicating its third quarter performance. From a high-level view, we look for indicators of strong investment income, growing asset value, and a well-managed, diversified portfolio. The story here is about the company's ongoing journey as an emerging growth entity and its ability to translate its business development strategy into tangible financial results for its shareholders. Alright, that is our initial decode of this filing from Chicago Atlantic BDC Incorporated. What are your thoughts on what this means for the company's future? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more corporate insights, and join our growing Discord community for deeper discussions. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next decode.